Okay, welcome. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat at alas 5 na naman ng hapon at tayo ay nandito tuwing Martes sa programang Feel Good with Tato Malay, and I am Tato Malay, and you're watching Feel Good here at Wow Very Good Live, and live na live kami ngayong hapon, and definitely this is going to be a very exciting program that I will actually promise you na talagang kakaiba ito. All the kinds of information that you will now hear later on or see ay talaga totally different from what we used to do here. So basically, this is something that you really have to keep watching from this particular minute up to hanggang mamayang matapos ito. We actually have this program from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. So, dito lang kayo. So, dito I will actually start the program first with something that normally we do in this particular program, na kung saan ay we talk about something related to metaphysics. And dahil dyan, kasama nga natin uli ang ating regular guest ngayon. She's going to have her own show.
Thank you.
That's why she's here now. She's going to plug her own show. I would like you to watch her show on Wednesday, I think. No?
Yeah.
So basically,
Thank you.
she will actually promote her show by herself. So I'd like to introduce Rev Reg Tan.
Hi, good afternoon, Sir Tato, and everyone who's watching Feel Good with Tato. Yes, it's nice to be back. So, it's the fourth time I think na andito ako sa show mo, Sir Tato.
Yeah, ano ka na nga eh. Kaya sabi ko nga, kailangan meron ka na regular dito dahil you have so much to say. You have to have your own, I would say, real program here because sabi ko, sayang kung tayong dalawa magkasama and we talk about the same things. Dapat magkahiwalay na yung ating so that we could spread the word around much better.
And
Alright,
very
so
grateful.
you would see some important people with us today, mga kagalang-galang, talagang totoo naman kagalang-galang sila because they have already have this kind of stature in life na kung saan ay they have this particular achievement na kung saan ay napakaganda ng buhay na kanilang tinahak or ang dali ng tinahak or yun nga ginawa sa mundo sa kanilang lugar sa Mindanao, especially in Sulu, sa Tapianan. But before I introduce the two of them, Reg, I would like to discuss something first before we really get into other matters here.
Yes.
I would like to make mention of the fact that many of the questions I get here in this program, sabi nga nila, yung tinuturo daw natin, bakit naman ang hirap, yung law of attraction, o yung sa metaphysics, yung bakit hindi mag-manifest yung mga gusto.
Yes.
And one thing that I have always insisted in saying, we have to align with the source. And if you have to align with the source, basically, you have to know who God is.
Yes.
Or who that source is. And what does that source do?
Yeah.
Di ba? Yan ang importante. Kasi, sabi natin you have to align with the source or you have to be aligned with God. But how do you align with God? Alright. Ito yun eh. If you want something, if you are actually insisting on or desiring for a thing that you want to manifest in your life, basically, what is important is for you to be able to know that God always says yes. Anytime, anything that you want, always God always says yes. God never said, He will never say no to you. Now, how do you, sabi nga nila, well, bakit hindi manifest? Akala ko ba God always says yes? Yes, because God always gives unconditional love. Walang kondisyon. Sino ang nagbibigay ng kondisyon? Tayo. Every time we ask God for something, God, gusto ko ganito ha, kung hindi ganyan, ayoko. May condition yun.
Yes.
Yung para bang namili ka pa.
Yes.
Yes, we have to decide as to what we want. But then again, we cannot be that choosy in terms of what God can give us. Because
Yes.
God can give us more. God can give us something bigger or better. But why would you limit God? And sabi nga, ikaw pa yung naging choosy. Ikaw ang nagbibigay ng kondisyon. So we have to also be able to be unconditional. But more than just being unconditional in terms of, itong sinasabi ko, if you know what unconditional love is, that is the most important thing that we have to learn. Many of the things that we have not learned in this lifetime is to give unconditional love.
Yes.
Palagi tayo may kondisyon. Mamahalin kita, basta mabait ka, basta gawin mo ito. Ayan, ganun ang mga kondisyon natin. But, yun na nga, God always gives us unconditional love. But, who prevents that unconditional love flowing through us? Tayo.
Yes.
So, basically, doon nagkakaroon ng blocks. Doon tayo nagkakaproblema. That's why we cannot manifest many of the things we want to manifest.
Yes.
So, yun lang. Yun lang ang gusto kong anuhin at this point in time. So, eto na. Reg, before we continue, sige, plug mo muna yung program mo. Okay.
Yes, thank you to everyone who has been watching. So every Wednesday, it's called Goals with Rev Reg, 5 to 6 p.m. Please tune in to Wow Very Good Live. So let's talk about...
Anong oras?
5 to 6 p.m.
5 to 6 p.m. din,
Yes.
every...
Wednesdays.
Bukas. Ganyan. Sumula ka na bukas. Okay.
Next week.
Next week pa.
Oh.
Okay. Congratulations.
So, thank you, Sir Tato.
Okay.
Because siya naman yung nagbigay din ng suggestion.
Yeah, ikaw
And
naman
Tita Wilma also, thank you.
Of course. Alright. So, okay, tuloy-tuloy na tayo rito. And you might have been wondering as to who these distinguished people are, who they are in our studio. No? I mean, bakit sila nandito? Alright. Introduce ko muna yung nasa katabi mo, Reg. No? Basically, we've known each other for almost a month na yata tayo nagkakasama. No? Kasi we always see each other every Sunday in Kainta. We have this place we go to every Sunday in Kainta, kay bahay ni Princess Miriam Kiral. But today, they are my special guests because they will talk about something very, very important for us to actually learn about. No? Ito yung gusto ko munang introduce, and I'd like to introduce General Habib. General, ang bata, no? General Habib Nikabulin. Yan, sorry. Medyo kwan sa akin kasi yung last name niya, Nikabulin. Yan. I want to pronounce it the right way. Kasi I asked him that kanina, ano ba ang pronunciation? Nikabulin or Nikabulin? Sabi niya, Nikabulin. Alright, so General Nikabulin is he was a former bangon, ano tawag dito? Ayan na, wala itong aking kodigo dito. Andito na siya kanina. Ano ba itong mga kodigo ko na, pinapasukan pa ng advertisement. Ano ba yan? Nawala tuloy. Alright. Ang problema sa. He was a Bangon Pilipinas Party senatorial candidate in 2010 during that national election. Sino for president noon? Si
Eddie Villanueva.
Eddie Villanueva. Ano nalo si Noynoy?
Yes.
Alright, si President Noynoy Aquino. Alright, so he was a former Pilipinas Party, Bagong Pilipinas Party President, senatorial candidate, President. Former Vice President of Al Mustafa International University, Philippine Campus Branch. And presently Home Affairs Minister of the Sultanate of Sulu. Yan. The word or the name Sulu. O yan. Home Affairs Minister of the Sultanate of Sulu and North Borneo. Of Sulu and North Borneo. Kasama pala ang North Borneo, pati yung North Borneo. Oo, sige, mamaya, explain mo yan bakit kasama yung Borneo sa ating kwan. Maraming hindi nakakaalam doon. And, again, also, ito ang maganda. Why is he a general? He was part of a military group before. And now, he is actually still part of it, but as a political emissary of the MNLF, of the Moro National Liberation Front. Wow. Wow, fighter ito. Ito yung mga talagang sumabak sa gera. And ang balita ko, bata pa ito si General Habib, as early as age of 26, ano na siya. He had already leading, in command of a group.
Given the big command.
Alright, okay. So, alright, so that's General Habib Nikabulin. And ito namang aking distinguished katabi dito na talagang hindi ko malaman kung ambassador ito o congressman o senator. No, actually, he used to be, he is a retired police colonel. He was also with the Philippine Constabulary before, the time of Ramos, the President Ramos. Sayang yung Philippine Constabulary, gusto ko yun dati. Gusto ko yung costume, yung uniform yun, yung khaki na, tapos merong line na sa pantalon, tapos naka-boots. Tapos yung coaching brown, malaki. Yun ang naalala ko dyan eh. So, he used to be with the Philippine Constabulary before. And what else? Ang dami, actually, ang haba nito. Hindi ko alam kung saan ako.
Philippine National Police.
Yeah, retired Philippine National Police. But basically, ang dami siyang ilang pages itong kanyang kaya hindi ko malaman kung saan ko umpisahan. And he was one of the most outstanding provincial director of the year 2005 of Police Regional Office of the ARM, ARMM. ARM is actually
Autonomous Region.
Autonomous Region
in Muslim Mindanao.
in Muslim Mindanao. Yeah.
Which is now BARM.
Yeah.
Ibang
Okay. Siguro ay as we go along, dadagdagan ko na yung mga credentials na hindi ko na mention. No? Tulungan mo na lang ako dyan, Gerald. So, alam mo, ito kung very accomplished itong dalawang ko natin dito. So, tayo ay aware of the recent bombing of Sulu, of what is now being talked about in media. But ito ay as a result of so many things that had happened in the past. So basically, I want General Habib to give us a historical view on what this is all about. So how did you become involved with MNLF?
Okay. Thank you, Tato, for inviting us here. And I'm glad to be here. And
Ako, napaka-soft spoken mo, medyo lakas ang general yung kunwari, yung sinasabi, nasa waka ngayon, nasa kampo tayo ngayon. So, kailangan, sayang
you
naman.
know, we have been at war for decades, and nowadays, peace is the only means and end of our struggles, and nothing more. So we have to be diplomatic as always, because we are committed to sustain what we have vowed for. The 1996 Final Peace Agreement between the Moro National Liberation Front and the Government of the Republic of the Philippines has to stay alive until we have got what's supposed to be for our homeland and for our people.
Yes.
In Mindanao, especially the most devastated of war, Sulu, Basinan, Maguindanao, Lanao, and some other parts of Mindanao. So, basically, our family involved in this struggle with my father as the co-founder of the Moro National Liberation Front.
Your father was the
Yes, with
co-founder
the
of
professional
that.
usually.
With
Yeah,
Professor.
he belongs to the
Actually,
batch
what do you really call Professor Nur Miswari?
Yes. He was a professor because he hailed from the University of the Philippines.
UP,
He studied in
As a matter of fact,
and became a professor.
kaklase nga siya nung aking cousin before,
Yeah.
si Dick Malay.
So he initially initiated the organization of the Timor National Liberation Front right after the Jabina massacre in 1968. So my father actually, he was a clerk of court and police officer in the town of Polo. My father was practically a part of the government of the Republic of the Philippines, but he saw himself the injustices done to our people in our homeland, and that he joined with Professor Nur and became part of the Timor National Liberation Front, and they were sent abroad to train, but until now popularly known as the Batch 300.
Batch
And my father,
300.
yes, until his last breath, he really never succumbed to anything beyond what he vowed for. The aim that should be achieved for our people in our homeland. And that is the social justice for the people of Mindanao. That is not only those who, that is included the Christians and the Highlanders, the Lumans. And that is the reason why I was being tasked to lead the Mindanao Composite Task Force Command in Mindanao. For 9 years I was there because that was the mandate that was given to me by Professor Nur to bring the dictum of the MNLF to the Christian communities and the Luman as well in Mindanao. So God be praised, I did my best, and the MNLF was accepted wholeheartedly by the Christian communities in the Highlanders, because they realized that the MNLF is fighting for justice for everyone in Mindanao and for humanity. So that is the basic information that I could give you for now. So I don't have to write more of the time of the bit of introduction of myself and my involvement in the MNLF. So I have to give sometimes my good friend, my elder brother, like a father to me, the well-decorated police officer.
Yeah, I'd like to add.
I will give
to his,
sometimes for it.
You know, if you actually remember the Rolito Go case, yung nagbaril, yung bumaril lang, yung nagkainitan lang, it's road rage, kumbaga parang pan. Alright, the one who was able to capture Rolito Go is beside us here. Kayo ba yun? Kayo ba kaya?
Yeah.
Kaya? The man himself. Colonel here, I mean, was the one who actually arrested Rolito Go. During the time of Erap pa yata yan, you know?
Yeah, during time of President Ramos, that time, sometimes in 1996, we arrested at Lubao, Pampanga.
Lubao, Pampanga.
Yeah.
So doon na nahuli si...
Doon namin nahuli.
Oh, okay.
After 2 months of
2 months of hiding.
hiding, years when he hid, but
Years
after 2 months of surveillance,
surveillance. Okay.
we got him.
So kayo nag-lead ng arrest. No?
Mm.
Yan na, I have a picture of you
captured
here. So, congratulations. And
So by the way, Tato, you made mention of the recent bombing in Sulu. So I will have just to give a bit of my personal assessment as to what happened.
Yeah.
You know, this bombing incident has been time and again happening in Sulu, in some parts of Mindanao, in other areas, even in Manila. And this is very sad. When it happens in Sulu, you know, it's like that missiles being, you know, exploded that will intimidate everyone,
Yes.
which is wrong. Why? The people of Sulu is very peaceful people.
That's,
You know,
that's,
just
the,
before the incident.
that's exactly the opposite of what Sulu is really all about. It's very peaceful. Pero yun na nga, you hear a lot of
Yes, in
these
the
things
news.
in the news na parang bang, ano ito, why is this palaging pag merong mga ganyan Sulu ang
Yeah.
nagiging...
And it is police matter actually. This is not something that the military has to come in, and when one explosion happens like that, and the military has, you know, to go battalions upon battalions, and, you know, to drop bombs, you know, to send airplanes like that. So that will even intimidate, and that will even enrage the people out there. You know, that's why you see the very injustices that is really healed in the mind of everyone. You know, practically when you look at it, when you read in the news that Sulu is it's 1,000 pity on the part of that, you know, island and in the people, because the incidents should have been stopped, and this job should have been done by the intelligence community of our government. There's so much money for them, so why don't
Hindi
you know, utilize
ma-trace kung ano.
yes all the possible know-how of you know, of the police, the intelligence people, the local government assets and everything else like that, and you know, and once and for all to put an end to this type, you know, to prevent this kind of incidents. You know, it's, you know, beyond imagination. This kind of incident would have, you know, taken place right in the camp. So,
Malapit na
yeah,
malapit.
it's command responsibility actually.
Oo nga.
The leadership in that camp should be made to answer. You know, and the intelligence community
I
should be
think
made to answer.
right now yata, I think President Duterte is in Sulu now.
That's the, you know, if you look at the problem, it's really in the leadership. Where in the, you know, that incidents happen. The missing link is there actually. And you don't have to
Go
just,
far.
you know, go somewhere else and just take everyone else as suspects and everything like that, you know, without even prima facie evidence, without due process, and you just name suspects, and everyone is like that. And without going further, deeper to the root cause and, you know, to the responsibility
Okay.
of the people.
Yeah.
Ito
You know,
nga
in the
yung ano we have to really know exactly what Sulu is, where Sulu actually is also. Sulu is in the ano ba ang location ng Sulu in terms of Zamboanga and then
It's in
Sulu,
the southern tip of the Philippines.
southern tip of the Philippines,
Yes.
malapit sa Zamboanga, no? And,
No, it's close to Borneo.
Borneo.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yun na nga,
It's-
that's why
it's-
kanina,
Yeah.
you mentioned something about itong yung this school, University of yung Home Affairs rather of
The Sultanate of Sulu and North Borneo.
North
You mentioned about that?
Hindi, kanina yung I mentioned about yung Home Affairs Minister of
Yeah,
Sultanate
I'm the
of
Home
Sulu.
Affairs Minister of
Sultanate
Sulu.
of Sulu and North Borneo. Alright. Okay, Sultanate of Sulu. Ang ganda pakinggan, Sultanate of Sulu. Do you know exactly what that word means, yung pag sinabi mo, Sultanate of Sulu. Before the Philippines became the Philippines, Sulu already was a kingdom,
Yeah, that's what I know.
acknowledged by other countries. So basically, Sulu
It's sovereign
was,
nation.
it's a
It was a sovereign nation, an
already
independent state.
in the 14th century.
Yes,
Oo.
and Sulu had an economic ties, diplomatic ties with other countries, with other nations like China, Great Britain, the
Oh.
Netherlands, the US, and in other countries, many countries that in ties with the Kingdom of Sulu
Oo,
at the
pero
time, before even the advent of the Philippine Republic.
Oo. But ang tawag sa kanila, hindi sila hari, hindi ko but they were sultans.
Sultan in Raja.
Raja, ilang ko nila.
Yes.
ang title.
Before Sulu became a sultanate kingdom or Hashemite kingdom or sultanate per se, it was a kingdom.
Kingdom.
Yeah, actually, in Sulu archipelago, there existed about 3 sultanate: the east, the central, and the west. So there were actually 3 kings
3
in
kingdoms.
Sulu archipelago at the time. So it's a very strong kingdom actually. It was a unison
Wow.
of the 3 big kings
Actually,
that ruled not only actually the Sulu archipelago but practically in the whole of Asia at the time.
yeah, the whole
And
of Asia.
in that kingdom, in that unison of kingdoms was a good diplomatic ties with the sovereign nation of China
Mm.
actually.
So,
So when Islamic ideology came, when the missionary from the Middle East arrived, and that was the onset of the Hashemite kingdom or the Sultanate kingdom or Islamic kingdom because of intermarriage to the family of the sitting king at the time,
With
King Baginda.
with the one who came from the Middle
Yes,
East.
yes,
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
So that was the starting of the Sultanate kingdom until now.
so if you really look at it, no, it
That
was
is
a
about in
kingdom,
1405.
and it was a very, I would say, prosperous, majestic kingdom that they had. Yung mga parang pinakahari nila,
Correct.
they were actually carried. They cannot actually step on the ground.
Yes.
That's why people carry them na merong tinutuntungan yung leader, yung sultan, and he would be brought wherever he wants to go, not by walking, but he was carried by
Yes.
That's why the only entity can pacify actually and can give true definition or claim of this pratley that is in controversy now with our neighbors, especially China, is the people of Sulu. Because the people of Sulu in the past enjoyed all of these grandeurs of
Yeah.
the West Philippine Sea or the South China Sea. But actually, that area was enjoying the economic cooperation, utilization between Sulu and in China actually. Because China and Sulu were in very good diplomatic relation
Yes,
at the time.
trade
In
agreement.
fact, if you look at the very factual story of the relation is the tomb of the Sultan of Sulu that is in China.
Sa China,
Yes, in
yeah.
Guangzhou, in Shandong, in the province of Shandong, King Batara. Yeah. So, and that is proof absolute that China in the Sultanate of Sulu or the Kingdom of Sulu were in good relation,
Yes.
very live, and that condition actually should have been made, sustainable until
Maintained
now.
up.
Yes, yes.
maintained.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Oo.
So
Kaya nga.
this should not be an issue of conflict
Yes.
or intimidation for us and for China as well, and for everyone in the Southeast Asia.
Yeah. Sayang nga kasi nga talagang it was...
That's why we support the program of the President and the appreciation of the President that we should, cooperate and exploring, developing, and sharing the grandeur of this territory. This should not be, an issue of conflict.
Yeah.
Because we should not also deprive anyone, because this is godly gift
Yes.
to humanity.
Yes.
The Filipinos should not, take for themselves alone.
Mm.
You should be selfish if we will, in that kind of attitude. If the Filipino would, what we call it, insist, and what if Sulu would interfere?
Mm.
And the people of Sulu will say, you have no right actually, to claim, because this area is ours.
That's true.
And if there is an entity that should talk with China, is the people of Sulu. Because historically, you cannot deny history.
Yeah. Kasi
Yeah,
before
we have been in
before the Philippines existed,
Yeah.
the name Philippines, it's basically the kingdom of Sulu
Yeah.
was the one.
We have been in economic intercourse for centuries.
Yes.
And we didn't have any problem at all. Conflict of the sharing, the resources.
So what can be done now in
Yes.
terms of restoring that
The
grandeur?
key, to a very sustainable diplomatic relation with China is, to support, the aspiration of the people of Sulu to be developed.
To be
Also,
developed.
and to enjoy what is there in Spratly on the South China Sea.
Mm.
Yeah. So because we are jumping overboard,
So, sir,
making that controversy and depriving actually, overlooking the what we call it, the beneficiary of the interest
mm,
that is there in this Spratly.
so parang joint venture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the people of Sulu should, benefit pretty much than the rest.
So what-
Modesty aside,
What are
of the Filipino people.
What are you doing now, General Habib, in terms of all these things? What are your plans in terms of your contribution to the development of this?
That should be the case study of the Philippine Army. Because Sulu is the poorest of the poor. Despite
Now,
the fact,
Before, it was one of the
Yes,
richest
yeah.
monarchies. Before.
despite the fact that we have everything in Sulu, we have hospitable people.
What do you say?
we
We
have-
have everything in Sulu.
Yeah.
You have the gold. You have the.
Yes, we have the gold, we have everything.
oil, I mean.
Yes, we have the, all kind of fishes. We have
Fish,
our land is very fertile. It is below actually typhoon belt, and all season, year round. You can plant everything that will grow in Sulu.
Kasi Sulu is basically, you have three, Holo,
Yes,
Basilan, and Tawi-Tawi, right?
we need stability in Sulu. On our part, we look at the military coming into Sulu just to intimidate and to cause problem in Sulu instead of contributing, peaceful resolutions.
Yes.
People are intimidated actually.
With the presence of...
Yeah, with the presence of the military and the people of Sulu, as a tradition, when there is an alarming threat, they have to arm themselves to fight. That is actually the attitude of Sulu. That is, the kind of people, the kind of, upbringing that they have. So the more military that will come in, the more aggressive that Sulu will become.
Yes.
That's why we look at it, this is only police matter. Like the case of Abu Sayyaf, it should be resolved on the level of the police, not the military. Because if you put it like an invasion, the police colonel here is a very remarkable example of what he did in Basilan.
Sige.
For more than 2 years, he made Basilan peaceful without killing, without everything, without kidnapping.
How did you do that?
Yeah, Governor would share his
How did you do
experience
that in terms of
when he was a
staying in
police
peace?
police
Kasi
director.
we would like to talk
police
about
director in
peace
Basilan.
here.
Yes.
Sige,
Uh,
baka we can learn something from you.
Good
What
afternoon,
you did.
everybody.
Again.
I am here with Brother Tato.
Yes, thank
It's
you.
nice to be here. Based from my experience, before I became the provincial director of Basilan, hundreds of military, not only military, as well as the policemen, were killed and some beheaded.
Wow.
Now,
Sino ang mga nagbibihed?
yeah, the what we call the Abu Sayyaf and the other elements. Now, when I became as provincial director of Basilan, I called all the chief of police for conference that I emphasize to them that I am the provincial director. They are more knowledgeable than me of the terrain and the traditions of the Basileños, because we are Tausog,
Tausog.
Basilan is Yakan. But in the
How many
we are
how many groups do you have in Sulu? Tausog.
Tausog and Sama Badjao, Christians,
Badjao.
Catholic,
Maranao, is still in Maranao.
Iba.
is part of Lanao.
Now I will continue.
Yes, please do.
My third, or the chief of police, that if anybody come to our office, the same, the people from the mountain, people from the town, the prisoner, and the ignorant, as long as they come to our office, don't let them go out without helping them. If possible, you offer them something. If that's even coffee only.
Yeah.
Oh. And I advise them not to insult everybody. What is important is respect for everybody.
Yeah, importante. Exactly.
No.
Kasi from the military point of view yan, ha?
Respect for everybody. Nag-usap-usap po mga chief of police lang ang kasama ko. Yun pala, ang sinasabi ko sa kanila, dumating sa bundok. Oh, na ako ganito. After 2 days, 3 days, some people from the mountain come to me. Asking help, and immediately I will help. Then, I went to the mountain. I asked them, kung may problema sila, dapat sabihin nila sa akin.
So talagang you had
Ang tao
this
ko,
communication with them,
Yeah.
face to face.
ang tao ko, out of 100%, 20% taga-Muslim, 80% Christian. Ngayon ka po, kung tayo mag-away, kung may mamatay sa akin, kahit Christian ang tao ko, malungkot ako. Dahil sa ko yan.
Kasama eh.
Kayo ka, kung may mamatay sa inyo, kahit hindi naman magkakilala, pero brother Muslim, malungkot din ako. Ano ang gusto nyo? Magkira tayo? O tahimik na lang? Magtulungan na lang? Natulungan.
Tulungan.
Inihintay ko kung ano ang problema nila, action agad, tutulungan ko agad.
Yun.
Yun ang kuhan.
So ilang years ninyong
May isang taon, almost 2 years.
2 years?
Oh. Yun ang kuhan. So, ang resort, walang abisayap, no kidnapping, no ambush, no fighting with the military. and police.
So
During my
ano,
administration,
yeah.
ang resort become peaceful area. So, if we are sincere and honest to perform our duties and responsibilities, nothing impossible
Nothing impossible. Very, very true.
become.
Yan
Yeah.
ang importanteng
Nothing
maintindihan
impossible.
natin
Oh.
na pwede talaga mangyari.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It will become peaceful.
Yes. Anyway, so you can join us here, General. He is also a doctor, by the way, PhD siya.
That's
In,
good.
anong
Organization development.
organization development. So, dami ng title, Doctor, General. So,
Political.
anyway, so si General Habib is also intending to put up a peace center in Sulu. So,
Which I
maybe
think is necessary.
you can maybe update us as to how or what your plans are there. So, in conjunction,
Yeah.
kung dito
So,
sa pinag-uusapan natin.
Yeah. Recently, I was in Sulu, and we came to conclude with the conformity of major organization groups, including Christian communities, ministries, religious group, and of course, MNLF and the royal family of Sulu. That in as much as we want drastic development in Sulu, the government could not really afford, to do all of these things, because there's a lot of things to do in Sulu. First, you have to stabilize peace first, and that is always an expression of justification of the development officer in Manila. They cannot just put in infrastructure and everything like that, or livelihood program, because of the instability of peace.
Yeah.
So the tendency, the funds and everything like that would always diverted. So now, in as much as we are in very much of hope of the what the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region now can give, the newly won, the BARM, we concluded that we have to do something right there in Sulu. Because this is also to sustain the 1996 Panel Peace Agreement, being part of the MNLF, and knowingly that the MNLF is not really, has no big pie
Yes.
in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, because the BARM is headed by the MNLF. So, on our part, we are intending now to put a peace center in Sulu. This will be participated by the Christian communities, by pastors, priests, and some other experts and funders from international community linked to the United Nations. So we have identified an area whereby we will put the all prototype of infrastructure from electrification of Sulu, in silence, water system, because
Okay.
the problem now is water.
Imagine, it's
While we have
It's within
bus
body
of,
of water.
Yes.
source of water, but every household has no water to drink.
Clean water.
Yes, no household to
irrigation,
drink.
ganon.
No electrification of Sulu. It's very pitiful.
Actually, I want to share because I've always been a follower of Ilyak Diaz.
Yeah.
And he has this litter light project. They use plastics to light up households. And I've been
Actually,
following...
bote yata ng soft drinks
Yes,
yan
kasi he was saying na the international community, they're trying to send solar panels to the Philippines. But the problem with it, according to his calculation, it will take them 5 months with the logistics to do that. And Ilya, being a Filipino, he has his own foundation. I really think that it's one of the best ways to light up Sulu. Kasi yung ginagawa niya can be learned by women. In fact, it's women who are taught how to make the lamps. It's sustainable. It's very affordable yung how it's made. And then you even give livelihood to the women. Maybe you want to check that. Kasi,
that will be wonderful.
yeah, and his mud houses, as in my first college degree in Miriam, we're required what kind of school are you going to put up? So we have to make a feasibility. So siya yung naging model ko of how I was gonna execute the
program.
Yes. So yung mud houses niya are so affordable, and you don't have to even source materials that are outside the community. Everything that's already within the community, they call it mud houses. Magagamit niyo siya. It's
That's very
amazing.
much exciting.
Yes, it's shock-proof, it's earthquake-proof, and
Fireproof.
yeah, and yes, fireproof. Kasi it's made of mud, and then the way it is shaped, it's spherical or parang circular. So maganda din yung flow ng ventilation dun sa place. I
Okay,
think
great.
you want to check that
Yeah.
because it's gonna speed things up.
And I think kindly, give us that access.
Yes.
And hopefully that will be a factor.
Yes.
That will enhance our vision,
Yes.
to deliver some good for our
Yes.
people through this peace center in Sulu.
Yes, and
My
it's
partner actually is also a pastor, but he's also pastor at Mark Atiola Dimirin. So he's actually the one that connecting to international community,
yes.
doing all these things, and I'm going to facilitate everything right there in the province. I have identified that was used to be the camp of my late father, that is within Maymong, adjacent to Indanan municipality, about a 200-hectare land
Wow,
area.
that's a
So
big
we are, thinking that this could be a pilot
Project.
community.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, he even mentioned,
Yeah.
kasi he's well-traveled, sabi niya, sabi niya, he keeps attending conventions and Filipinos are always asking for a handout. Sabi niya, but with the technology of this litter light program and the mud houses, we're positioning ourselves as Filipinos as someone who can actually provide something to the rest of the globe.
Yeah.
Na tayo naman yung may mabibigay. Kasi, like you mentioned, Sulu is actually rich in so many things.
Yes, but the problem, like in fish, we have no cold storage because we have no fish port. So even how much fish you can catch, it will just be rotten.
Yes.
You cannot store because there's no cold storage. Why we have no cold storage? Because there's no electrification, no energy.
Yes.
So that's the main problem. That's why Sulu has no livelihood actually for the people to live.
And
Pretty
it's
well.
amazing because what he mentioned in his TEDx show, he was talking in TEDx Manila, he said na, when there's a well-lit community, the crimes in the community, it goes down.
Yeah.
Almost nothing because it's well lit, so people can go home safely and people
Yeah,
can
great.
walk back home safely. Lalo na sa provincial addresses.
Yes, correct. In Sulu, the problem is livelihood really, Tato. Because if you look at Sulu in terms of literacy, Sulu has a great illiteracy. Why? Because this free education for elementary and high school actually don't work in Sulu. Why? Because even if you have plenty of classrooms, you have enough teachers, but you have no enough children to go to school. Because why? If the children are hungry, they do not care going to school.
Yes.
So the children, because they have no food, because parents could not provide them the food that they need, they have to look by themselves
They have
Yes.
to work.
instead of going to school.
Yes.
That's why I said the government should provide soup kitchen for the children so that the children can go to school,
Yes.
and that we can resolve literacy, and that we can resolve peace and order problem.
Yes.
Unless this is addressed, we will have problem forever.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we need all people with expertise and everything is like that to come to Sulu and study the root cause of the problem, not militarization.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we continue, I'd like to say hi first to Lance Edward. Hi, Lance. And also, of course, to our good friend, kasama natin sa Kamalayan, si Princess Miriam Kiram.
Assalamualaikum, Princess.
Sabi ni Princess, 13th century Sulu is already a trade partner of China. So 13th century, hindi pala 14th century pa. 13th century pa wala. Way ahead. Kasi 15th century tayo naging Philippines. I mean, we were named after...
Even Sulu became, before a sultanate, as a kingdom, Sulu had a very good ties with China already. Economic ties, political ties, and everything is like that.
Yeah. So, she mentioned also, I think yung nag-react si Princess do sa yung sa house na, the igloo design. So basically, tayo sasabi na parang mud house.
Yes.
So ganun. Anyway, ang dami natin mga pa dito because basically, we are also in Facebook Live and ang daming alright.
So they're watching us.
They're watching us.
So hi everyone.
Oo, so sadali mag-ano tayo, mag-shoutout tayo para baka naman sabihin nila na hindi natin sila pinapansin. I'd like to say hi to Paula Cameron, alright, of course the Princess, Melinda Zamora, Ruby Ann Caceres, okay, May Adora is watching, Bobby Yulo, si Mines, Los Angeles. All right. Ricky Maramba, hello. Victoria Flores, Gina Constantina Goroy, and sino pa? Juvie de Guzman, Tony Boy Dizon, all right. June Jacinto Lopez, okay, former classmate in Don Bosco. So, ayan. All right. So, naku, dami natin kuhan. Ano ba ito? Ayan. Tayo dyan. So, saan na tayo? Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so, basically, we have to, alright, we are running out of time. So, ito lang ngayon ang ating kuhan. What else can we really do with Sulu in terms of, well, yung mga ganito nangyayari? Kasi, it's high time that we have to do something really concrete about what can be done. Kasi a lot of times, ang question is peace and order. Peace. What is it? Why is it hard to have peace in Sulu? Why is there always a lot of conflict? Ano pa ang mga talaga, aside from what we had mentioned already, yung kahirapan, poverty, and
It's really in the national policy.
alright, but
The national policy has really to fix its determination in direction. We are blessed that we have this president that we have now, President Digong, President Duterte. So that's why we are very much supportive to the policy of the president because he's going to that direction actually. On the part of the MLF and the Sultanate, we are really pretty much hopeful that the paradigm that the president is going to do, and in fact he has been doing this, and it is actually in the process of realization, hopefully it will, and that is the only hope that we are clinging on. The federalism and the change of the constitution so that we can redirect the national policy of the government towards the aspiration
so you think
of the
federalism
people.
can really be...
I think that is the only way for now. Unless the system is changed, no change ever could happen in Sulu.
Alright, from the metaphysical point of view, I'd like to ask Rev Reg Tan here about peace. How can we attain peace metaphysically
Well,
speaking?
in this situation, because it's a collective consciousness that we're healing.
Consciousness.
Yes, we really have to forgive and release all the disappointments, feelings of resentment, with whatever happened culturally in that situation. Kasi there's an interesting vlog. There was a Spaniard who actually went to the Philippines. I think that was 3-4 years ago. And then he apologized in the Luneta, saying that when he found out what the Spaniards did to the Philippines for 300 years, he went here and apologized. So it's funny kasi he's just one person, but the Filipinos who read the blog, na nag-sorry siya dun sa mga ancestors niya. Syempre, everybody was happy, the one who read it. Basically, metaphysics can help in solving the situation by teaching people first how to meditate. And since Sulu is it, you mentioned it's more Christian?
Okay, but again,
No, so, we have been living with non-Muslims for centuries already.
what kind of culture do we really see in Sulu now? Culturally speaking.
Is it very open?
Sulu is very hospitable people. The people of Sulu
so
is
wala na
very
yung
diplomatic, very hospitable,
Regardless
very
of,
generous, But they, of course, they are very apprehensive when there is what I said a while ago. When there is an alarming
military
threat,
presence,
when there is alarming threat, the people of Sulu very apprehensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think actually this is very helpful to everyone. And one thing that I'm gonna discuss as well in the goals show, which I'm going to share here, I'm in touch with the research institute. It's called the Heart Math Institute in the States. And we teach people how to meditate from the heart. So, actually, you will be surprised that as you keep practicing it, even the material problems that we want to address, it will rearrange itself and will find its own solutions. I'm so happy because I'm working with one of the leaders of Heart Math Institute, and they're actually sending me something for research. And it's going to measure the kind of emotions that we have as a group.
Okay, maybe you can include Sulu in your
yes,
research.
because you know that feeling, kapag yung isang tao peaceful siya, one person knowing how to meditate, will affect the rest of the people in the group. And if they're able to raise the vibe, we're not expecting everybody to practice it. But if there's enough people who know how to meditate from the heart, it's really going to bring all the tension down, all the angers and resentment down.
Ito sila General Habib at si Colonel dito ay nakakasama ko sa isang meditation practice every Sunday. No?
Yes.
So basically we can, sa Kamalayan, no? So we can actually implement that maybe in Sulu in the future.
And I would want to suggest, since he already mentioned it, if you have a peace center, and if the peace center will teach the followers how to meditate from the heart, it will really bring down the...
Yeah, we will do everything right there in the peace center. That's why
Kasi may mga pari dyan, mga pastors.
Yes. It should be educational in nature. Yeah, and debriefing. Because most of these people are devastated and victims of war.
Yes.
Widows, orphans,
Yes.
So we need to care for them.
Yes.
We need to educate them, don't intimidate or militarizing them. Yeah. That's not the solution.
Alright, wow. Ang ganda ng usapan natin dito. And I never really expected that this kind of discussion would amount to this, I would say, insights that could actually start something big for us here.
Yeah, that's from the horse mouth. Because we are victims of war, and the colonel here, he experienced himself, battling with these people, with his own people, as a young officer when he was second lieutenant at the time. Yeah.
So,
and fighting his relatives from the other side.
That's right. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much to the two of you here, of course the three of you, including Rev Reg Tan, for, of course, watch out for her program next week. So with that, I'd like to ask some last words from Colonel Abdulwahab.
Last words.
To our viewers.
Thank you. For everybody who are handling position, either chief or director, be honest and sincere. And don't afraid to enforce the law. That's all.
Thank you very much, Colonel. Okay, General Habib Nikabulin.
Glad to be here, Tato.
Thank you also for your
Reverend,
presence, for your
and
time.
glad to be given the opportunity to, to share our sentiments, our experience, and somehow a bit of the true condition of our people, especially in Sulu, and as well as parts of Mindanao, that is Christians and Dilumans. So these communities are one in the Moro National Liberation Front. So being an officer of the Moro National Liberation Front and also being an officer of the Sultan of Sulu, so we are praying and hoping that good will come
Yes.
in Sulu for as long as we sustain the peaceful effort of our President and everyone in the government. We will prevail, God willing.
Amen.
God bless.
So it is.
Aso, mabuhay.
Thank you, General Habib. Reverend Reg Tan,
Yes,
invite your friends.
Thank you very much, Tato Malay and Tito Wilma, for the wonderful opportunity, and to all the listeners who have been listening to us, and follow me with the show, Goals with Reverend Reg, and we're going to teach you, share with you principles. Paano nyo ba makukuha yung goals yun ang meron kang kilig sa puso? So, yun lang. Thank you so much and have a great day, everyone.
And with that, I'd like to say thank you to everyone at magandang kamalayan sa inyong lahat. So, yan po ang ating programa for today. So, antabayanan po ninyo ang mga susunod na programa rito. So, dito na tayo nagtatapos. So, basically, alright. So, nasa si Richard. Richard, we still don't know as to how to close this. Thank you.
So pwede natin i-share na ito.
Oo, pwede mo i-share yan. Right, Reverend, okay. Pakitaan ko na si Richard kasi hindi ko malaman kung wala na tayong monitor dito sa kabila eh. So we're still live here on One Very Good Live, but although we have ended already, so basically we are now officially over. Pwede mo i-share yan sa mga fan mo. Basically naka-share. So, Richard, okay pa kami. Naka-live pa kami. So, ito. Baka makakalimutan.